Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Bolt City Podcast. Dave Palais, Josh Palais, Mario Heron, getting ready for Sunday's big game against the Denver Broncos. Chargers need this game. They need every single game. But again, when you're playing inside your division, guys, you look forward to it no matter what your record is. But at the same time, this is a Charger team coming off a win, the Broncos coming off a loss. And I think a lot of Charger fans are excited and feel confident about Sunday's matchup. Should they be confident, Josh?
They should be. Chargers have a better team. They have a better quarterback. The difference is I think the Broncos have a much better coach. I think the Chargers go against a team that has a better coach in every single game they play. This game is no different. There's a few things about the Chargers that are obviously concerning. One is the defense. The defense seems to show up against quarterbacks that aren't great unless it's Lamar Jackson a few weeks ago. That was encouraging. I want to see what they look like against Russell Wilson because I'm tired of people saying this Chargers defense looks great. Okay, everybody looks great against Zach Wilson. Everybody looks great against Bajent. Everybody looks good against some of these quarterbacks the Chargers have gone against recently. I want to see them do it against the Broncos and Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, frankly, a guy that probably has something against the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I'm ready for them to show out and show up in this game, right? Like, this is a divisional game. This is a playoff-bound game. You know, you can make an argument. This is a playoff game for the Chargers going into this. And it's time to show up. If you don't think Sean Payton's going to have a little something for you coming into this game, you got another thing coming. And if you like this Chargers team too, you know, right now the Broncos aren't necessarily in a playoff spot, but they're in that playoff race. And if you look at the Chargers' win this year, they don't have any good wins. Maybe this could be a win in that good win column. So it's definitely a must-win situation, I think, for the Chargers here, Dave. And I look at this Broncos defense, and Dave, I just think Justin Herbert's got to be smiling, right? Worst opponent 24th in opponent passing yards per game, 31st in opponent yards per play. I think Justin Herbert's looking at his chops going, this might be an easy day for me, fellas.
Well, I hope so. I mean, here's the deal with the Broncos. It's kind of fascinating. So that game that they got completely embarrassed by with the Miami Dolphins earlier in the season, worst loss of the year, at least most embarrassing loss by any NFL team where the Dolphins scored like 70 points on them. The Broncos, actually, their defense had picked up after that. And as many people were saying, well, what happened to the Broncos? And I thought they're supposed to have some talented defensive players. Well, the Denver Broncos, I think, gave up a combined total of like 80 points until last week against the Texans. And so their defense has all of a sudden turned things around too. They made adjustments, whether it was being embarrassed or figuring things out with the coaching staff, don't know, but they were a different team. The game against the Texans, the Broncos, I'm sure, didn't see that loss coming. They probably went in there thinking, you know, we can win this game. We're going to keep the streak alive. Right now, we're the hottest team in the NFL. And next thing you know, they weren't. To hand them back-to-back losses would be great. I think we made it clear on the last show that there's no love lost for us against the Denver Broncos. We want to see the Broncos lose all the time, can't stand everything about them. And here they are, they come to town. A lot of people are telling me, Charger fans over the last couple of days were saying they're surprised that as of 2 days ago, the Chargers were favored in this game. And I was thinking about it, but going back to kind of what Josh said, the Chargers haven't beaten a decent opponent. You're talking about a team that has a future Hall of Fame quarterback. You're talking about a team that has figured things out a little bit. Maybe they've gained more trust in their head coach, but the Broncos are a different team than they were, let's say, the first 2 months of the year. The Chargers need this win. And another Charger fan said to me last night, said, I don't know what it is, but I keep thinking the Chargers are going to turn it on this week. And I go, so do I. So does everyone that does this show or follows the team. Like, this is the week the Chargers are going to play up to what they're capable of being. And yet it seems like we're disappointed almost every single week, even in the win against the Patriots when they couldn't get in the red zone and they were able to pull out a win. We still think this is the big offensive explosion. And defense, Khalil Mack, we talk about him all the time, can't say enough great things about him. But we're waiting for this Charger offense to click. And even with all the injuries, the interesting thing to me, Josh, is that it came out this morning that the Chargers are going to give more carries and put Joshua Kelly more into this offense. And when you hear that, it shows you that Brandon Staley and the coaching staff is seeing what all Charger fans are seeing, unfortunately, is that Austin Ekeler not only has lost a step, he's lost a lot of steps. Where if you're willing to go out on the record and say it's probably Joshua Kelly's time to see what we have in him through the rest of the year, that's an interesting sign to see where Austin Eckler's career is at and what the Chargers think on their best opportunity to move the ball up and down the field is.
I've never seen a player decline faster than Austin Ekeler has, a guy that has scored 40 touchdowns in the 2 seasons before this, and now he can't even get 3 yards per carry. I've never seen this that happened so quick for a guy that's seemingly healthy. I haven't heard anything about Austin Ekeler being hurt since he came back from being injured. So that's very surprising to me. This is the one game where the running game should be there, right? The Broncos are the worst against the run. With the games at home for the Chargers, we know the Broncos play different when they're in Denver. This is the game for Joshua Kelly. And we've seen Joshua Kelly this year, right? Because Austin Ekeler was hurt and Joshua Kelly got to be RB1. And I didn't see much. So I'll give Joshua Kelly another chance to prove that he can get the job done. Even if he does well in this game, I still think the Chargers need to draft a running back next season. Blake Corum from Michigan would be my pick. If you can go Brock Bowers tight end in the first round, Blake Corum in the second round, it's a great draft already. The Chargers obviously have a huge hole in the running game. And Austin Ekeler, man, how embarrassing. You do all that talking in the offseason, and then you get your job taken by Joshua Kelly, a guy that people wouldn't even consider one of the best backup running backs in the NFL. It is insane how this has developed so quickly for Austin Ekeler.
It really is. And it's like we went from a top 3 back last year, right? And the year before that to this where we're at right now. This ties into my picks to click later on, fellas, because I think this is a game where Austin Ekeler's a little pissed off, where he's ripping some posters off the wall and he's a little mad. He's going to come in ready to play. Now, I understand it, right? Like his stats this year have been terrible. And if you look historically against the Broncos for Austin Ekeler, it hasn't been great either. Averages 32 rushing yards on 8.8 attempts, 39 receiving yards on 4.8 receptions. That's his averages against the Broncos. Now, I know that's bad. But you know what's really bad? What makes you want to punch yourself in the face ugly? This is the Broncos defense. And it is especially the defense against the run. They're the worst defense against the run this year. They let up the most rushing yards than any other opponent. If you're Austin Ekeler, you've gotten crap. You're getting crap everywhere. Everyone's hating on you. Staley says this today. People are wondering why is Kellen Moore running it with you on first down. This is the day. This is the day, Sunday, where you get back at everyone against a division rival in a big moment. It's Austin Ekeler's day. He just has to figure it to blank out. So let's hit the holes and let's break some tackles. Let's have some explosive plays here, Dave, because I think it's the Austin Ekeler revenge game. He gives a double bird to all of his haters on Sunday.
All right. This is the craziest thing you've ever said on this show. And what I'm going to tell you is this. There's nothing there. There's no explosiveness anymore. He doesn't have it anymore. He's lost it. All of a sudden, here he is, a guy in his late 20s that looks like he's in his late 30s. If he was able to do it, he would have done it before. I don't think at any point Austin Ekeler that says, hey, I'm not willing to give 100%. Like, he's not going to turn it on right now in December against the Denver Broncos. I think he is what he is. And there's a reason why NFL running backs get paid what they get paid. We discussed it all summer long. And it's the one position where you look at NFL players and you go, the average NFL player, it used to be 3.5 years. Now the average NFL player lasts in the league 2.5 years. Running backs last less than 1 year when you look at the average. Okay, you're just thinking of the star players that go a little bit longer, like the Derrick Henrys. But NFL running backs, they don't last very long. And Austin Ekeler has lasted a long time considering where he came from and what he did just a few years ago, like Josh said. I don't think he has anything left in the tank. And now I'm curious to know, Mario, what is considered a good game for Austin Ekeler?
Okay. That's very, very fair point. All right. I think for this one, it's to easy the burden on Herbert, right? So for this, I'm going to ask, like again with the Quinn Johnson and the aim low, right? So I'm asking for 75 rushing yards. But on the counter to that, I'm going to ask for 30 receiving yards. 30 receiving yards because you got to be a dump down option. You got to be a dump down option that's able to get some yardage for him and catch the ball. That's what you kind of have to do big time. For Justin Herbert. So I think if he does that, he catches the ball, gets around 30 reception yards, 75 yards to the ground. Joshua Kelly will probably add another 20 to that based off how piss poor this Broncos rushing defense is. I think that's the spot where he can hit. I think that's the spot where I'm like, all right, that was a good Ekeler game. I'm happy with it and a touchdown. That is a lot to ask for. I understand. But with this defense, and again, this big of a game, Josh, I don't think I'm asking for too much.
You're not, considering a guy whose average last year, I'd say, would be about 110 total yards between rushing and receiving. That was just the standard for Austin Ekeler with a touchdown, right? The guy got a touchdown every freaking game. A lot of times there's multiple touchdowns. You're not asking for too much, especially a guy that claims he's one of the best running backs in the league and talks all that crap in the offseason. 100 total rushing yards, 110 total rushing yards is not asking for that much, especially against a Broncos team that is going to give it to you. I mean, frankly, the Broncos defense is not good. That's crazy because last year, the Broncos defense was great, right? And they couldn't score any points. This year, the defense is terrible. I know it's skewed by that game against the Dolphins, but still, the rushing defense is horrible. Austin Ekeler, maybe he is pissed off, but if you need to be pissed off to play well, then I think there's a bigger issue there. I mean, I don't think anybody needs to talk crap about you for you to play great. You're in the NFL. You should bring it every single game. I'm with Dave. I just don't think there's anything there. He's not explosive. There's nothing there when he runs the ball. He's not, getting in between the tackles and making guys miss. He's not getting on the outside and running past guys. I don't know what he does well right now, and that's the bigger issue.
Yeah, I don't know what he does well either. So the over and under for this game is 49.5 rushing yards for Austin Ekeler. You said you would take the over then, Mario?
I would take the over on that one. You can get, I'm pretty sure, is it even money? All right, so it's a little juice on the over. So it's minus 120 on the over. But I would take that. I think he could definitely get that. He's going to be so pissed off. There's a lot going on. Like, you got to think about a little bit of that one. And so I'll take it with him. If he disappoints me, then I'll never, well, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah,
then,
if he disappoints you, it'll be what you expected because this is what he's been doing the whole year. He's been disappointing you.
Yes,
that's true. There are no surprises there. Oh, okay, let me tell you something. As a fan, if he were to have a game where, let's say, he ran for 75, 80 yards, and then he says to the media, I was pissed off. I couldn't agree with Josh more. Like, what the hell, dude? You've been getting a paycheck every week. What do you mean now? What took you so long? Be a professional. I think Austin Ekeler honestly has given his best effort. The reason they have to keep giving him the ball is because you have to show the other team that you're going to at least try and establish the run to make things work in the passing game. Unfortunately, there's nothing there. Here's the most damning thing on Austin Ekeler for the entire season was the game against the Packers. Tell me if I'm wrong, Josh, but it was the Packers where he got clocked at running like 12 miles an hour. And you're going, what the F? I mean, that's
13.
Crazy.
Give him a break.
All
right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on.
Figure it out.
Carry the one.
Public apology to Austin Ekeler. 13 miles an hour. I mean, dude, you're supposed to be an elite athlete. That either shows me he has lost a bunch of steps or that he's half-assed it. Which one is it? Either one's not good.
He's lost a bunch of steps. He's not the type of guy to half-ass it, right? I don't think anybody watches Austin Ekeler play and claims he's not trying. I think he's definitely trying, just doesn't have it. It's concerning.
And it's sad.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It is sad. Dude, it's like watching somebody slowly pass away. And you're like, this is just sad. There's nothing you can do about it, really. And that's kind of his career, just slowly passing by us. And it's sad. People want to talk about Justin Herbert not having help. Why don't we point the finger more at Austin Ekeler? Everybody wants to talk about how he has nobody to throw the ball to but Keenan Allen. We talk about it all the time. Maybe Austin Ekeler is a huge reason. If you're going to go against Justin Herbert and you know they can't run the ball, wouldn't you prepare for the pass? Yep. I would, right? People don't point the finger much at Austin Ekeler, and they should. The Green Bay Packers thing, the player talking about when he's running on the left side up the sideline, it became a viral clip, and it was highlighted across the league. Anybody that's an NFL fan saw that clip, and then that's when the conversations really started like, wow, Austin Ekeler just does not have it anymore. And if anybody that plays fantasy football has Austin Ekeler, he hasn't had it all year. But, people across the league finally were starting to see it after that game.
And it's also, I mean, we talked about this multiple times. Like it was kind of coming, just like with the time, with the how many hits and games he's been playing. Like it just happens. Like Dave, you talk about all the time. You don't last long in the NFL. It's just like the career is short, your window's short, and he was a hell of a player. Did a lot of great things the past 2 years. Regression was coming, and here's where we're at with it. And it's a tough one. It sucks for us because this is a year they probably need him the most right now with all of our injuries. We did. Josh Palmer, IR window has officially opened. So now we wait and see when the Chargers will activate him, hopefully soon. But anything else in this game, like I was looking at this Broncos schedule, Dave. And the way my mind works, I'm like, all right, so who are your good wins and who are your bad wins, right? Or bad losses. And their bad losses, Jets 31-21. Wow. Dolphins 70-20. Defense was terrible. Commanders 35-33, and Sam Howell just was slapping you in the face that whole game. 229 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Brian Robinson also was your daddy too, 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I look at these good wins and look at these bad losses, and which one do you think gives you the most confidence in the Chargers?
I think it's two different teams what the Broncos have shown. I mean, I think honestly you can change as a team. I was surprised the Broncos game against the Texans. I thought the Broncos had turned the corner I'll go back to what I said before. The thing that surprised me most, not the fact that Russell Wilson seems to be on the same page with some of his players, as Josh mentioned in the last show, and I'm sure there are a ton of Charger fans that do what we do. We watch what the Denver Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chiefs are doing because you want to know what's going on inside your division. He looks for one guy, Russell Wilson means he's looking for Cortland Sutton. Remember, he lost. He doesn't use Jerry Jeudy at all, so you imagine he's going to be on a different team next year. He lost, Tim Patrick 2 years in a row. And so Cortland Sutton has become his favorite target to throw to. So defensively is the one that has surprised me. Not the offense has surprised me. It's the defense that has surprised me. How all of a sudden do you turn it on defensively the way they have? To the point the defense is talking crazy trash, like they're the old Orange Crush of the 70s. I mean, Patrick Surtain Jr. comes out and says, dude, I want Keenan Allen. I mean, how many guys do that? Say, I want the Hall of Fame wide receiver. Put me on him. Don't change anything up. I'm going to follow number 13 around. Good luck with your afternoon, number 13. And Keenan Allen, is going to be up to the challenge. At the same time, he's going to go to Justin Herbert and say, that little SOB just called me out. You better make sure I get my touches in this game. And I know he's going to be the number one target for him in every single game. But now he made it personal. How many people go out on a limb to call out a future Hall of Fame wide receiver? So I'm curious to know what happens. How do we attack the Denver Broncos defense? What is the plan? I have zero faith in Ekeler, and I have zero faith in almost everyone else on the offense right now. I don't have faith in either tight end. I don't have faith in Ekeler. I don't have faith in Joshua Kelly. I don't know what the Chargers do outside of playing the Herbert Keenan Allen game.
It's the others. We've been wanting the others to step up all year long. Unfortunately, Austin Ekeler has become an other. He went from an all-pro running back to an other. We need him to step up big time. Patrick Surtain Jr. is one of my favorite defenders in the league, obviously an Alabama guy. I think he's right there as the best corner in the NFL. That comment bothered me because we all know you're going to guard Keenan Allen. You're the best cornerback on the Broncos. He's the best receiver on the Chargers. Duh. I mean, you don't need to say it. We know it. It's obviously Patrick Surtain versus Keenan Allen. It's not breaking news to anybody. The Denver Broncos had the worst 4-game stretch in the NFL, for sure. They gave up 35 points to the Commanders and lost. Then they gave up 70 to the Dolphins and lost, 28 to the Bears in a win, 31 to the Jets in a loss. And then, like Dave said, their defense completely turned it around. That is the thing that is surprising to me. I thought that was a lost team. They were definitely talking about them being a number one pick, number one overall draft pick, and now they're definitely not in that conversation. They're talking about the playoffs. Chargers can definitely win this game, though. I think they have the same problem as the Chargers with Cortland Sutton. The difference is their running game has showed up more recently than the Chargers. They have different running backs that can beat you. I'm not confident that the Chargers have that. The defense obviously needs to show up as well. Khalil Mack is the Keenan Allen of the defense, right? He's the only guy that is probably going to show up every single game. Who else is going to show up? We need Thule to be consistent to play well. He's obviously overperformed from what we expected. I want to see a guy like Henley get on the field. I have no idea why he hasn't gotten on the field yet. You draft this guy in the 3rd round to make an impact. Is Kenneth Murray playing so well that he can't get any PT? I don't think so. I'd like to see the others show up on the defense as well. It has to be a team effort, and we've talked about it before. The Chargers haven't put a total team game together. It's either been the offense or the defense. Let's put it together this game because this would be the first good win of the season. I can't remember any Chargers game or any Chargers season where they haven't had one good win. Maybe that one season where they had one win before I was really even a fan. I wasn't a fan back then, but I'm talking about when I used to watch the team when they're in San Diego to now. They've always had good wins. You can't go a whole season without a good win, especially with a franchise quarterback.
A little punch him in the mouth win. And yeah, I know he's a Bama guy, and we tend to be nice to Bama guys here on the show, except if you're Mac Jones. But yeah, Patrick, thank you, Dr. Obvious. I would hope that you would guard Keenan Allen in this matchup. I would hope so, buddy. I don't know who else would. So if they didn't, that Vance Joseph would be a pretty big dumb idiot. And shout out to the Chicago Police for doing someone and getting something. And I guess doing the job right now.
We can hear it. We can hear it.
Oh, good. All right. No, so yeah, it's gonna be a game where the others do have to step up. I like how you said that, Josh. I agree with that. Gutton, find your hands. We need to find hands. Yeah, it's Gutton. It's find your hands, and then you get the name right. Then we need a find hands machine because that's what QJ needs. That's what Ekeler needs. Gutton needs. Parham needs. Like they all need to find their hands. Like they all need to find their hands and go, all right, these are our hands. What do we do with our hands again? And it's like you catch the football and like, wow. okay, we catch football with our hands. Like we will relearn that, and I think the Chargers can be set. But no, I think this is definitely a game where obviously we look. Keenan Allen's gonna get his touches, gonna get his looks. But I think what stops the Chargers from getting that win against a good team and getting that win against a playoff team, being a playoff team, is Dave. They don't have that random guy that pops off. Like, God, where did he come from? They haven't really had that on the offensive side of the football. Like, there hasn't been that, but that happens to them. And that happens with other teams. I think that's the difference between Chargers and everybody else right now. And in this matchup, like, look, someone's going to have to step up. And if I had to choose someone to step up, Dave, I think Everett.
I hope. I hope there are a lot of things about him that I like. I mean, there are. It just hasn't become that elite tight end. You know what he is? He's a little bit better than Tyler Higbee of the Rams. That's what he is. A little bit better. I mean, my favorite thing about him is that when you hit him, he doesn't exactly go down. You know what I mean? Like he's always, they have to blow the whistle. He's still on his feet. I kind of dig that he's tough. But man, he's not what I thought he was going to be. The Sam Parham's been a disappointment the last couple of weeks.
Donald Parham. You guys are killing me.
Stop. I said Parham. What do you think?
You said Sam Parham.
Did I say Sam?
Yeah.
I said Parham.
I
said Sam.
You said Sam.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that came from because in my head I didn't even mean
to.
I just have a stroke right here on the show because in my head I was just going to say his last name.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it, that's disappointing.
Quickly,
somebody called 911. I just had a stroke.
Yeah, look, quickly, Dave. Who's the president?
Hey, hold on. It's Guyton, number one. Okay. 2, don't throw the ball to Guyton. Okay, please. Every time you throw the ball to Guyton, I get frustrated. And every time QJ catches a ball, I'm shocked. It shouldn't be that way. Like every time he catches the ball, I'm shocked. It's ridiculous that we celebrate when he catches a ball. Josh and I have a drinking game during Charger games when we're watching the games together. Every time he catches a ball, we do a shot. Guess what? We haven't gotten drunk once. It's amazing. It's amazing. All these games, we haven't gotten plastered one time. At the same time, man, I look at this Charger team and do I hope this is the week? I do. I feel like a sucker saying it, but I think every Charger fan feels the same way. We're waiting for that offensive explosion. Like we're waiting for that Miami Dolphins 70-point game, even though that's never going to happen. It's just so frustrating watching where they're at right now because it's the Broncos. I would take another 6-0 win. I would take anything that equals a win against the Broncos. I don't care what the final score is. I would take that win.
Oh, I'd take any win. It doesn't matter what the score is. I agree with you. I want to ask a question, though, that came from the last podcast. It comes from HyperTech95. It says, don't think you guys are too negative about the team. We got a lot of comments saying that we're not too negative. We're honest, and I really appreciate that because, like we say, we try to be as honest as possible. You guys are just being truthful. Love the podcast. Here's a question for the podcast. Who are your top 3 choices for GM if the Chargers decide to move on? For me, number 1 would be Ozzie Newsome. 2 and 3, someone from either Kansas City or Philly management. So I can't tell you that I have a top 3 because I never put that much thought into this. I always talk about head coaches, but I'm glad you asked the question about a GM. I would definitely try to do something that a team like the Dodgers do in baseball and the San Francisco Giants. They took guys from the Atlanta Braves, a team that does things better than anybody else. There's no reason you can't do that in football.
Everyone's stealing from the Dodgers. The Braves took from the Dodgers.
Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. I meant it the other way around. They're taking from the Dodgers. There's no reason you can't do that in football. You want to take from a team that does things the right way. For me, above any team, not even close, I'd say 2 teams right now. It'd be the San Francisco 49ers, even though they had a bad trade, right? I'd say the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. If you can get somebody from their management side that knows what they're doing and has learned from their GM, I think you could bring somebody like that in. Once again, I'm not interested in Bill Belichick as GM. Would love to have him as a coach. It'd be an honor as a Chargers fan to have that guy as your coach, not as the GM. I would definitely try to pick from the Eagles or the San Francisco 49ers. What do you guys think?
That's the only answer. It's the only answer. You would take John Lynch's top assistant,
Yeah.
As I say, Ozzie Newsome's not walking through that door. He's not coming out of retirement. It's the 49ers or it's the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles right now, I don't know if they're a better team than they were a year ago going to the Super Bowl, but after that draft, we're like, how in the hell did this just happen? How do the Eagles look like a better team on paper than the team that just went to the Super Bowl where they picked, basically not number 1 or number 2? The John Lynch is assistant, whoever that is. That's the guy I'm trying to grab in San Francisco. San Francisco has figured this thing out. Also, San Francisco has done a great job for the fact they lucked in a Brock Purdy. They aren't paying quarterback money. He's still, making the minimum. And so they have 3 more years of not having to pay Brock Purdy. They're in a great situation. You come to the Chargers, obviously you're paying Justin Herbert. That's a tremendous amount of money that goes right there. Here's the issue, man. Mario, I'm going to let you jump in on it too, but we all know what the problem is. It's not even Tom Telesco. It's John Spanos. He's the problem. He shares the last name with the owner. He's the owner's son. He's not going anywhere. He's the reason why this organization's not going to progress in the fashion we want it to, because he doesn't know anything. He just doesn't know what he's doing, and he's never going to get dismissed from his job. It's very, very frustrating that for some reason he's not content being the owner's son and working a different side of the organization. Instead, he has to be involved on who this team signs and who this team drafts. John Spanos is killing this team.
Yeah, I mean, very hard to not argue that. And it's just like, how do you deal with it? How do you get over it? And I think a GM spot is very, very important. And when you look at that question, I have a guy for you that you guys don't think I'm drunk. I'm not drunk. I'll take a breathalyzer right now. I'm fairly sober. Ian Cunningham, who started off with the Ravens, went to the Eagles, and now he's with the Bears. The reason why I want Ian Cunningham, because he comes from Ozzie Newsman. He comes from his coaching tree. For people that don't know, this is what
GM
tree. This is what people have to say about Ozzie. This is from Brian Baldinger, NFL Network analyst, one of the smartest minds in all of football. Guys who learn and train under Ozzie, it was like getting a law degree from Harvard. He was hard on the guys, but gave them the leeway to show them what they could do. Another person said that working with Ozzie, training with Ozzie is like coaching under Andy Reid. That is the guy I want, Ian Cunningham. He was with the Ravens, saw the growth of the Ravens from 2008 to 2016. There's a Super Bowl, by the way, in that. Also transition between quarterbacks, hiring of a top NFL coach. I would love him to be a part of the Charger organization and run it. He was part of the Eagles during their run. Then he goes to the Bears. He was offered the Arizona Cardinals GM job. He turned it down, stayed with the Bears. He was a part of the trade with the Panthers. I think it's a marvelous trade. Now, there are other moves. I get it if you want to roast them. But Ian Cunningham, watch out for that name. Look out for that name. That guy is going to be a very, very good GM in this league. And if, Tommy Boy's out the door and he's in the Bahamas enjoying the money that he's made, I think Ian Cunningham would be a pretty, pretty good fit for the Los Angeles Chargers.
All right, here's the issue on any one of these guys that we're mentioning right now is what's the reason he turned down the Cardinals? He turned down the Cardinals because of their history in the Bidwell family. That's why he turned down the Cardinals. I mean, yeah. I don't even know the guy, but I'm telling you, I know the answer. I hate to say it, the Spanos family has the same reputation because of John. Because we know people inside the organization who have told us with the Chargers that Telesco takes all the hits, even if they aren't his call. Even if John tells Tom what to do, if it goes bad, Tom is there to take all the bullets. That's the way it goes. Tom's receiving a paycheck, has the title. What is he going to do? Quit the job? But at the same time, if anything goes good, John gets the credit. If anything goes bad, Tom's there to take the wrath of it. So if you're a guy that has any power at all in the NFL or think you have a future in this league, is this a job that you want? Because it came out today that, unfortunately, Josh is right, which for all of us,
look at the money,
fans,
look at the salary cap.
Our hands are tied because we have this guy, and this guy's not retiring anytime soon. He's only like 40 years old. He's not going anywhere. He's basically a billionaire family. He's not going anywhere. So,
no,
Jim Harbaugh comes out today and says, hey, I don't have an interest in the NFL. Now, he might be saying that because he's getting ready for the college football playoff. We know he was looking for jobs in the NFL. A year ago, he was looking for jobs. Basically, as much as everyone says that he'll tell anyone that Justin Herbert's his favorite quarterback in the league, the Chargers are not going to step aside for Jim Harbaugh. There's no way John Spanos steps aside and says, you can have my job too when you become the head coach. And that's what Jim wants. He wants control. He has complete control at Michigan. So the guy wins 70% of his games as a head coach in the NFL, yet he has interest in your quarterback, but yet because the owner's son is here, Jim Harbaugh doesn't think that job right there is appealing to him. And that's what your guy in Chicago is going to think. And that's what any other person's going to think is John Spanos going to be in the way. What did Bill Belichick say a couple weeks ago? The rumors of Bill Belichick. Not he wasn't quoted as saying it, but everyone who knows Bill. Wherever he goes, he wants control. The Chargers aren't going to give him control.
Yep. Why would you want to go to a situation where you're completely handcuffed? Nobody would want that. And the Chargers, salary cap wise, aren't in a good position. We talk all the time about teams that seem like they continuously beat the salary cap. 49ers and the Eagles, right? It seems like they're playing with fake money over there. You'd want one of those guys. But I'm 100% with Dave. You wouldn't want to go to a situation where you can't make your decisions. I want football guys to make football decisions. I don't need the owner's son to tell me what to do. And I understand that John Spanos has been around the game for a long time. He hasn't ever won. He's never been part of a Chargers team that has won anything. So why would you want him to keep making the decisions? Let him run his own XFL team. You can win. If you can win down there, we'll bring you. It's like the minor leagues. You prove that you're good enough down there, we'll call you up and we'll consider you. But there's no shot that I'm going to a situation where John Spanos is going to get into the way. It's very frustrating. I think the Chargers have a problem they can't fix with the Dean Spanos and the way he runs the organization. It's the most frustrating thing as a fan.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. It's a hard thing to realize, and you don't want to be in this. I call it the New Orleans Saints section, right? Like that's why Sean Payton left, because they were anti. They were on these contracts paid to guys that, you know, made a lot of money, maybe a little too much money, maybe didn't really deserve it. And you're like, I don't want to be a part of this reconstruction that's coming, but you guys don't want to do. I don't want to be a part of that. You know who else you can throw that in there? It's just a different sport. You can throw the Golden State Warriors in that as well. Like they're in a really weird situation. They have guys that are getting a lot of money that shouldn't be getting that money anymore, but they don't know what to do. And you don't want to be in that situation. Are Chargers trending towards that? Absolutely. But they got to get out of it. And the way to get out of it is tricky. It's hard. It's ugly because you're going to say goodbye to some pretty good players. You're also going to have to probably eat some money that you wouldn't want to eat. And then you'd probably have to go, we're going to have to sacrifice one of Herbert's good years. And that's just something that's going to happen. And that's a fault in the Chargers in this whole plan. When you get a franchise quarterback, there's like a window of make the team as talented as possible before you have to pay him, right? When he's on that rookie contract. You have so much money to play with because you don't have to pay the QB yet. And in that window, the Chargers gave you one playoff run. And then they lost in a historical fashion. That's what they did. And if you don't believe me, look at what the others team did. Chiefs won a Super Bowl. Bengals made a Super Bowl. The other team that kind of didn't really do anything with it was the Bills. Like there's a window you got to hit. And before you hit that window, a lot of money is coming in for that quarterback. And Chargers didn't do anything with that window. So now we sit here in NFL Week 14. And we got to go, Dave. Well, we got to beat the freaking Broncos. And if we don't beat the Broncos, then I'm going to give myself a black eye. Actually.
Yeah, don't do that. You punched yourself in the face last year. You know, it's funny. Good teams don't fall in love with players. Fans can fall in love with players. Good teams don't fall in love with players. You understand it's a business. When you look at even the Dallas Cowboys that have had so many superstars come in and out, and I understand the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl, you know, in forever. Jerry Jones can fall in love with players, but guess what? He doesn't play the bad guy. He can always pull the, hey, I'm not the one making decisions. Steven over here is the one that cut you or released you. That's just the way it goes. You when you fall in love with players, you get hurt. I mean, even the Chiefs made the tough call of getting rid of Tyreek Hill. Maybe that was the wrong decision. We said it on the show a couple days ago that we would have kept him. But at the same time, the Chiefs didn't fall in love with players. They maybe two guys that they fallen in love with, Kelsey and Mahomes. Even Chris Jones, they fought him in a contract this year. You know, they didn't want to bring Chris Jones back. I mean, that just shows you 2 Super Bowls and 3 Super Bowls, 2 wins. And the Chiefs said, you know what, this is a business. But when you have people that fall in love with players and you become a fan while you're working for that team, it becomes a big problem. Just saying, touching on what Josh just said about John Spanos too. Who did he learn from? It's like, what school did you go to? You learned from a bunch of losers. Not one time were you part of a championship team to see how it's actually done. Tom Telesco at least came from the Colts when they were good. You know, he actually had a decent teacher. But unfortunately, as we found out that Tom Telesco, basically, he's handcuffed. He basically, when things go bad, you're going to wear it. Things go good, we're going to give all the credit to Dean's son.
Exactly. It's like saying you finished top of your class, and then you say, where did you go? And you go, Arizona State. You go, okay.
Jesus.
So the only one that didn't party. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. Anyways, let's pick games. Let's go. Let's pick some. Let's pick our players. You want to pick players, or you want to do that on for the Chargers?
We'll pick players when we pick the Charger game. Here we go. Just to give you a recap of how it went last week. Okay. Josh and I both went 5-8. We struggled. Mario went 7-6.
Woo!
Nice.
Good job, Vegas. Daddy's home. All right. We'll start off with this one. Patriots Steelers in another toilet bowl. Al Michaels has never been more excited. Patriots 5.5-point favorite. That was 6 this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Over under.
Patriots are favored by 5.5.
Steelers
No
are favored
way.
by 5.5. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Over under's 30. Now it'd still take the under. But what do you guys have here?
I believe that's the second lowest under in NFL history.
Yeah, it's like an Iowa played Iowa.
Yeah. Well, congrats to Iowa from stealing the Steelers uniforms. Embarrassing. Josh, go ahead.
5.5 for the Steelers. I just don't think the Steelers are going to score many points, like Mario said. So I think 5.5 is too big. I'll go Steelers win, but they don't cover.
So Josh is picking the Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots.
I'm going exactly with what Josh said right there.
Ooh.
This thing will get ratings because it's the Steelers and Patriots organizations, but holy cow, man, what a bad game.
Yeah, the NBA in-season tournament's going to be on my TV. I don't know about you guys. So kiss that goodbye. All right, I like Steelers big, actually. Backup QB
Really?
on backup QB. Yeah, I think I'll take that. I mean, I think it's literally going to be like 7-0. That's why I think the score is going to be.
Good Lord.
That's awesome.
So that's why I think that. All right, next one, another disgusting game, a closer spread. Bucks, Falcons. Falcons 1.5-point favorites against the Bucks at home in Atlanta. Josh, what do you got?
I like the Bucks. I think this is an awful game. I would never bet on this game. My life depended on it, but I like the Bucks to cover.
I'm with Josh. Like the Buccaneers. I hate betting on Atlanta.
Underdog Central for you guys. I'm favorite Central. Give me the Falcons.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me the Falcons. I'll take them. I don't have a reason for it other than I just don't want to bet on Todd Bowles. Lions, Bears. Battle of the NFC North, a rematch. Bears almost won last time. For people that forget, Bears now 3.5-point underdogs against the Lions. David Montgomery questionable for the game, but I imagine he's going to play and dominate the Bears for revenge. Over under 43. What do you have for the Windy City?
I'll go first. I'll go Lions.
Yeah, I'll go Lions. I think the last time they matched up was a fluke. I like the Lions to put up a lot of points.
Dun 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 dun. Bear down, Chicago Bears. They're covering this game. Get that out of here. David Montgomery is going to dominate, though. David Montgomery, 2 touchdowns. I would sprinkle on. He's gonna rock them. But I think they cover in this game. Colts, Bengals. Pick them. Edge towards Bengals. So what do you guys think?
I'll go Bengals. Bengals surprised me on Monday night against Jacksonville. I'll go Bengals.
I'm going to go Colts just for that reason. I think they're going to be too high from that game. I like the Colts to win.
Simpatico with Josh. I think Colts are going to come in still hungry. Shane Steichen just somehow schemes up something in that playbook and gets them winning. Bengals coming in too high. I like the Colts to win here. Also, getting really tired of the Colts. They can go away. Right there. A little bothered. Jaguars, Browns. Browns 3-point favorites against the Jags. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to play. He was not in a boot, though. At his press conference, he was not in a boot. But, guys, for the love of God, get that guy a freaking golf cart next time.
He said he turned it down. Did you hear that whole story?
Yeah.
He said he turned it down. Okay.
I'm not going to lie. Yeah, if that was me, dude, I'm getting the cart and I'm making that dramatic. Like I'm going the thumbs up.
Yeah, doing the thumbs up deal.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna come back out. Like I'm getting the crowd going.
Mark gives the thumbs up, and everyone's like, "I didn't realize being paralyzed was even a question." But okay, gave the thumbs up.
yeah. I like tell him I can't move. I'm LeBron James when he cramped up, or Paul Pierce when he had to poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been waiting for somebody to get carted off and just do the big thumbs down. I'm not doing well.
It's not good, guys.
Yeah, I hurts really bad.
Yeah,
it hurts. I like the Browns to cover. The game's in Cleveland, I believe. Like Mario says, 2 backup quarterbacks going at it. I like the Browns' defense the most out of all this, so I'll go Browns.
I'm going Browns as well. It's amazing how many games we're doing, and the backup quarterbacks just matching up all over the place.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen it like this, actually, ever.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
insane. And yeah.
yeah. Let's see, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, out of the 5 games, 3 of them are backup quarterbacks going against each other.
Dude, and we talk about the rules, right, that are catered for the quarterback so they don't get hurt. This just shows that rules don't work. Bring back real football, okay?
Yeah.
Come on, bring back hitting it below the knee and concussion.
Embrace debate.
Mario, which way are you going?
Make football great again.
Browns
Okay.
defense. Their defense is going
All
to
right.
bounce back. That over-under, by the way, 30.5.
Wow.
Another low one. Yeah. This is a disgusting day. Disgusting day. This one's even uglier. Panthers, Saints. Saints 5.5-point favorites at home against the Carolina Panthers. Over under 38.
Is Derek Carr playing? Do you know this?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay, then I like the Saints. If he's not playing, I like the Saints.
Right into the ground.
One of the worst quarterbacks in the league. I don't know why Derek Carr is a starter in the league. You can't tell me he's better than Jameis Winston. I say this before Jameis Winston plays, if he plays this weekend, but I would swear to God, Jameis Winston has to be better than Derek Carr. He's awful. I like the Saints.
I'm going to go Panthers.
I'm going to go Saints. Yeah, nice. Dumb, but nice.
All right. So.
No, I like the Saints here. I just don't think Carolina has what do they have?
They don't. Nothing.
They have nothing. Yeah, you might as well just keep going for that. Oh, they don't have the pick. I almost said just keep going for the number 1 pick.
Well, just
I
like
know, they
earlier,
don't. Yeah.
And the Broncos weren't going to have the pick either earlier when they're saying that the Broncos have a chance for the pick. No, it's going to Seattle.
So that's good stuff. But yeah, give me the Saints. Please give me Jameson on the field. That guy's always funny. This one, I kind of get this one based off injury report, but I kind of still don't get it, right? So this is Texans Jets. Do you want to do guess the line really quickly?
I'll go Texans 3.5.
No, I'll go Texans -2.
Wow, Dave, you nailed it right on the head. It's Texans 3.5.
Wow.
Yeah. So what is think?
I'm taking Texans.
I'll take the Jets.
Oh. I'm on Texans. Also, shout out. I want to mention this. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers for going. Yeah, the Jets have a lot of media leaks. That's an issue. Really, you didn't expect that in New York. You didn't see that coming.
That's what happens when you live in Green Bay, Wisconsin for 20 years.
Yeah.
And guarantee you, Aaron Rodgers controlled the media when he was in Green Bay. Everything that nobody was going to go against Aaron. The whole town would have turned on you.
No, dude, no. Green Bay, are you kidding me? It's like turning away from the Lord to them. They're like, no, you're not going to say anything bad. They're not going to do that. In New York, everyone's trying to stab you in the back, brother. Did you not see that one coming? Jeez. The reporter's not your cousin. All right, next one. Rams, Ravens. Ravens 7.5-point favorite over the Rams at home.
You go, Mario.
Go ahead,
your team, the Ravens.
Someone else
there.
go. Someone else go.
Oh, I'm Rams, baby. I'm Rams all day long. They look good. 7.5 point. You give me a touchdown. I'll take the touchdown. Please and thank you.
Man, this is tough. I'm gonna go Ravens, but I like Mario's pick as well. I have no idea what to do. I'll go Ravens just because it's a home game for them.
I'm gonna go Rams. And I tell you what, I said a month ago, I will not pick the Rams the rest of the year because the way they've been playing and the defense looks so old. But man, the Rams have played really, really well the last few weeks. It's not boring watching Rams football anymore.
Yeah, it's not. All right. Next one, Vikings Raiders. Vikings 3-point favorite against the Raiders in Las Vegas. What do you guys think?
Justin Jefferson comes back this week. I like the Vikings. I don't think the Raiders can handle him and Addison and Hawkinson. It's too much.
Going Raiders in this one. Home game for the Raiders, going against Josh Dobbs. I know it's a AOC for the Raiders. And again, Justin Jefferson hasn't won a game all year, so forget it. It's crazy as hell. The guy has not been part of a winning game the entire year. I'm going to Raiders in this one.
No one can stop Justin Jefferson first game back. Dobbs is probably thinking this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. I haven't had a receiver to throw to all time. I mean, Jordan Addison. But I like Vikings. Vikings 3. I'll take that one. I do not feel confident in that one at all. By the way, I would just fade or just stay away from that game. Big point spread here, ladies and gentlemen. It's Seahawks Niners. Niners 10.5-point favorite over the Seahawks. The hell happened to the Seahawks? Over under 46.5.
10.5 seems like a huge point spread for division rivals, right?
Yes.
Especially the second
Yeah.
best team, especially the second best team in the division. That just seems like too big of a number for me. I'm gonna go Seahawks to cover.
I'm gonna go with Josh, even though I think Kenneth Walker III's not playing. I'm gonna go Seahawks too, just because it's divisional rival. 49ers came off a huge emotional win last week. I think a little bit of a letdown, which is weird to say against two teams that hate each other. I'm gonna go Seattle.
Simpatico, gentlemen. I'm going Seattle. 10.5 points is big for a divisional game. That's huge. I don't care that the Cowboys smoked the Seahawks. Divisional, weird things happen, divisional games. It doesn't make sense, right? Like, it just doesn't make sense at all. It's like the equator. No one really understands that. So it's just what it is.
That's what my
Bills-
bumper sticker says.
Yeah,
know what you're
it's
talking
just Bills Chiefs 1.5-point favorite against the Bill. It's like here's a good comparison. It's like when they say the nation's in debt. You're like, dude, how about we just print all the money, put it aside, and then give it to them, and then everyone's like, kind of makes sense. All right, that's your economy talk for the day. Bills Chiefs 1.5-point favorite over the Buffalo Bills, over under 48.5. What do we have here?
I like the Chiefs to cover. This is one of those matchups where people are looking forward to at the beginning of the season. Then you get to this point and you realize this game's not as good as we hoped it was going to be. I like the Chiefs to cover, though.
This is the one game out of all of them we mentioned that I would bet. I'd bet KC in this game.
I'm betting KC, but I'm cheering harder than hell for Buffalo.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't want to see the Chiefs win this at all. Like, not even a little bit. Give Josh Allen some type of bone. We're skipping our game, saving it for last. So besides that, we have two games on Monday Night Football. Fun fact for the folks. Eagles Cowboys though is a Sunday Night Football game. That's Cowboys 3.5-point favorites over under 42, which is the highest over under of the day. So what do you think?
Cowboys are favored by 3.5.
You know
They're
why?
favored by 3.5.
People
Yeah,
hate that Eagles defense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I'm going Eagles. I would bet this game.
I'm going Eagles as
just
well.
lost. Yeah, Eagles just lost to the 49ers in embarrassing fashion at home. Eagles are going to come out and stick it to the Cowboys.
Yep, I'm with Dave 100%.
And McCarthy's had like a surgery today or last night. Did you see that?
Yeah, appendicitis, big damn deal.
Can he hold the play sheet?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be. Is he going to be there?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's
He
going to
said
be
he's still going to be there. He said he's still going to be on sideline coaching.
Mike, can you stand there and hold a play sheet? Yeah, I think I could do that. All right,
Yeah.
you're good.
Can you read a play? All right, we're good.
there. Yeah, can you talk like this?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love that so much. I love when they're talking and they forget that it's not up, and they're like, I'm like, dude, there's no way it's that important. Like, you're okay. I'm saying Eagles, but I understand the Cowboys with the Eagles schedule. But I'm gonna say history is gonna tell me just Eagles fade the Cowboys. All right.
Hold on a second. So you're picking the Eagles
Eagles.
cover. Okay. So much talk, of course. There's always so much talk around Dallas. All of a sudden, they turn this into the MVP game. Whoever wins this game, that's the favorite for the MVP too. If you know Jalen, man, he knows exactly what's going on too. You know what I mean? Jalen's going to come out with his best game as well.
Very much so. Very much so. Definitely MVP game. If Dak wins MVP, I don't know what I'm going to do. But Titans, Dolphins. Dolphins 13-point favorites over Titans. Over under 46.5. What do you think?
Dude, I'm taking Miami. I'm running with it. I'm telling you that this Dolphins team does really well against teams that aren't very good, and this Titans team's not very good. This is where the Dolphins just go crazy again.
Yeah, I like the Titans to cover. I'm going to be surprised at all if the Dolphins just kill them. We're talking about the MVP. The MVP of the season is Tyreek Hill. Like, let's not even get it twisted. He is the MVP of the NFL season. He should win it. It's unfortunate that they give it to a quarterback every single time when somebody else deserves it. But I like the Titans to cover in this game.
But Dolphins to cover.
No, I think I said I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins killed them, but I like the Titans to cover.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me Dolphins. With you. They just shellac teams. I still think they're gonna shellac the Titans. And Titans, please be idiots and fire Mike Vrabel. Please be idiots and do that. Please, 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 and please. All right. One of the ugliest games on the board. Packers, Giants. Really impressive Giants at 4 wins. Giants 6.5-point underdogs at home, over under 37. After this game, people are legitimately gonna think Jordan Love's an MVP.
I feel like Jordan Love's not the same quarterback when he's away from Lambeau Field when I watch him play. I'm going to go Giants to cover in this game.
I'm gonna go Packers, and I'm waiting for Jordan Love to fall on his face again because every time I give him a compliment, he seems to S the bed. Remember, he started off the season really hot, then he was terrible. He was exactly what I thought he was, and then he's been really good. I mean, when you watch him play, he looks like an NFL quarterback. I think the Giants are in complete disarray. I'm going to go with the Packers.
Screw the pack. Giants.
I know.
6.5. Yeah. Up yours, Green Bay. Yeah, give me the Giants. 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 The veto. Get it going. All right. Picks to click. Our game. The Denver Broncos travel to beautiful Los Angeles. They get some sun. Then 3-point underdogs. And the over-under is 44. Plus 120 on the money line for the Broncos. Minus 145 for the Chargers on the money line. Gentlemen, what do we think happens here?
All right. What do you say the point spread is? What are the Chargers
3.
favored by now? It's 3 now. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go Denver to cover. Okay. Say Chargers win this game, though. Chargers win this game by 2. I hope Chargers win this game by 2. My picks to click: Keenan Allen. And a defense is only one guy to pick is Khalil Mack because he's the only guy that shows up every week.
I'm so happy he said that. I'm going to go 24-21 Chargers. I guess that would be a push. If you pick anybody besides, we pick other guys just for fun on this show to be silly. But if you pick anybody else besides Keenan Allen and Khalil Mack, you have a serious problem. So I'm going to go Keenan Allen and Khalil Mack.
Josh, that was the score I was literally just about to say. 24. I'll go 3 above. 24-27 Chargers. My picks to click. Eric Kendricks rallies up the boys. Said he's a leader on the field. He leads the team in tackles. He has a good game on the defense side of the football. My other one I mentioned earlier, Austin Ekeler. This is one of the worst defenses against the run, man. And you've gotten a lot of crap this past week. This is the moment. This is the moment. Put your crown back on. Get back up there, my guy. This is the moment that he can be something.
Can I say something that I've noticed real quick?
Yeah.
Has there been more bad games in the NFL this year, like matchup wise, than you've ever seen?
The last 3 weeks have been brutal.
Yeah, dude, the worst like I've ever seen. It's horrible.
I think the quarterback play, like that has been just terrifying,
All time bad. Like every time to the highlights, it's a quarterback. You're like, who? Like who's Tommy DeVito? Who's Bailey Zappi?
Dude, we're setting ourselves up for that graphic where it's Case Keenum, Blake Bortles, Nick Foles, and Tom Brady again. And that's the AFC NFC Championship game. That's what we're setting up for this year. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, we're on track.
Now you guys are right. True. I don't know. We said, can I tell you something I noticed? I thought you were going to talk about how Mario has that basket full of cleaning supplies behind him every single show. That's right.
Okay, first off, dude. I had a busy morning this morning, so I don't want to hear about it.
I don't think you've used those once. It seems like the same bottles in the same spot every time.
No, I got to do one because it's the advanced. I got a deal on it. I was pumped.
I got a deal on it.
On the label, it says best show formula ever. So watch out, folks. Watch out, stains.
At least it's not a bottle of lotion.
Yeah. That'd be. Yeah. Yeah.
Can we tell a story real quick?
Don't hit the link too early. Wait, what's the story?
All right, let me tell us. Not about you. I'll tell a personal story real quick. So when I was in high school, I had a recruiting visit to Pepperdine University, and the thing was we're going to go to the baseball game. Then we're going to, first before the baseball game, we're going to get a tour of the university. We're going to meet some of the players, meet the coaches. We're going to see the campus. We're going to see where they live, right? And then we're going to go to the baseball game to round it out. So if anybody that knows Pepperdine University,
it's not just us. There are a bunch of parents with us too. Who
so
it's a recruited to play baseball too.
Yeah, it's a group of us. And anybody that's ever been to Pepperdine University, it's the most gorgeous, university there is, and the baseball field's right on the Pacific Ocean in Malibu. It's great. So we get there, and we're just blown away by how nice this place is. We meet the coach, we meet the players, we go inside the campus, we see all the stuff. We go inside a dorm room. There's one of the players there, and he's talking to us. He's standing by his bed. This is where, this is where I hang my clothes. This is where I do my study time. My bed's right here. And then my brother, who was, how old do you think Jake was?
Maybe 13, 14.
Yeah, it's like 13 years old. He goes, I have a question. Little kid raises his hand up.
There are like 25 people in this room, by the way.
Yeah, and he goes, yeah, what's up? He goes, why do you have a giant bottle of lotion next to your bed? Dude, it was the funniest thing ever.
I think it was exact words are like, what's the deal with the giant bottle of lotion? Like, not just like, what the hell, dude? Oh my God, I wanted to die.
Oh my God, dude.
Dude, there's no way that kid was prepared for that. He had no idea.
He was shook.
No.
Dude, he was so shook. He's like, my hands get dry at night. My brother's like, sure.
Yeah. Not with that lotion. Yeah, okay.
Not with that.
Not with that bottle.
Pretty moisturized. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a religious school. Dude, it was funny as hell. One of those that was funny in the car on the way home. At the time, we were mortified.
Oh, I would have started dying laughing.
Oh my God. Dude, a lot of people laughed. A lot of people
got a question.
Yeah, that was it. Just yells out from the back. Yeah, what's up? The guy was so proud of his room. Oh my God. And Jake hits him with that one. That was something else. All right. When the game is over, we're going to do a show immediately right after the show. If you're wondering about Josh's background, he's in Mexico. Josh has done a lot of shows from outside the studio, so you never know where.
I'll tell you how I got here. Yeah, they went and lost to the Packers. I said I got to get the hell out of town. I bought a ticket one way to Cabo, so I'm just here chilling. Yep.
Yeah. Josh didn't make the bed. Pillows all over the place. I don't know what the hell's going on back there.
But we got room service for it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Why are you inspecting the room, Dave? Why don't you mind your own damn business?
Because I started goofing on your cleaning supplies back there. Here's the deal, by the way. I don't know if anyone else.
Yeah, your hallway's nice. Yeah.
So I'm in a corner right now. The hallway's over there. Yeah.
No, we can still see it. No, we can still see it.
Oh, like when my brother-in-law just stood there a couple weeks ago, just sitting there strutting through. It's so funny. That was one of the funniest things on the show where I'm like, dude, you're still in the camera. Like you're still in the shot. Don't keep walking. Just stood there. All right, here's something. Things about the show that always throw me off, and Mario does it all the time. When Mario makes a point, you have your pen in your hand and you go right at the camera, dude, and it throws me off every time. Like, I'm like, dude, what's the deal with the pen? Right at him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you realize you do it? Sometimes you'll point right at me. You'll point, and I'm just like, dude, what's up with that?
It's to make sure you're just still going.
Paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you ever have someone put their finger in your face? You do that again, I'm gonna snap it. But man, that I don't know what it is, man. That goddamn finger in that pen. No one has ever written it in the comments either. That it bothers anyone, I guess, but me. I don't know what it is, but anyway, that's it. So when the show's over, the game is over on Sunday, we'll have a show for you right away. We'll talk hopefully about a great Charger win. Hopefully, we're talking about a streak, obviously, but you'll get our input right away. So we do appreciate you listening, of course. Following the show, if you're following through the Odyssey app, Bolt City Podcast, can't thank you enough. If you're following on YouTube, and so many of you have been great, we want you to leave your score prediction in the comments. We read every single comment. You guys have realized by now that we try and get back to every single one of you, but we read every single one of them. And thank you so much for following this show on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the show. Thumbs up. All that stuff helps us out. So we appreciate it. But we'll be back right after the end of the Chargers-Broncos game on Sunday. So again, thanks for listening to the Bolt City Podcast. For Mario Heron, Josh Palais, I'm Dave Palais. We'll see you in a couple days.